Well, good afternoon. It's good evening actually. It's almost 5:30 on the 30th day of December 22. I'm pointing at that. I've just realised that Christmas tree is actually an artificial tree. It's not real. So I might keep it up all year. Save me putting it up next December. Or I might keep it up and invite up and down for Christmas dinner, Christmas lunch on sometime in July, as we always promised we would do to each other. And I might put decorations and balloons and stuff up as well. And I actually think I've got a box of crackers inside that cupboard. I gave a lot of them away. I was gifted these crackers from some agency for reviewing their product. I told them that the jokes were shite, and the quality of the wrapping on the crackers was appalling. So they sent me these deluxe boxes and said to me that the jokes inside these crackers were far more superior, and the quality of the paper was much better. But I've never opened it to check, find out. Because I used to sit here on Christmas Day on my own, and it's very difficult to try and pull a cracker on your own because well, it's not much fun. That's for sure. I was down at B&M today. Excuse me, I clear my throat. That's the wine gums. I told you that before. Wine gums destroy the lining of your throat. So if you're an operatic singer, don't eat wine gums. So we're down to B&M. I don't know why I was down there yesterday, but I never take a basket around. I've mentioned that previously. So I'll just take, I'll get 3 items at a time. And again, I got 3 items today. Interestingly though, well, you've got that, there's very few people in the population actually have opened their third eye, but I've got my third eye opened. Been open for quite a while actually. The third eye is it's in the pineal gland in the centre of the forehead, just above actually. And once that opens, it gives you tremendous insight. You can see much more detail on insects. You can, without magnifying glass, you can see different colours for the majority of people. You can listen to you can see situations which are not in your presence, that type of thing. It also helps you with the likes of remote viewing, or even, what do you call it, astral projection from your sleep place. There's all this, but that's not really what I was going to talk about. Well, it's slightly connected because just because I was at the checkout and I was chatting to one of the girls, she was muttering on about the flooding, and I just happened to notice this person. It's like one of these thriller movies. Excuse me, I'm going to get a drink of water, hold on. That's my green cup. It might not be the wine gums, it could be the water that's causing sore throat. It's not really sore, but anyway, I said to that girl in the checkout, I says, well, I said, you know that water's not actually wet. And she says, what are you on about now, Andy? I says, well, water only feels wet, but scientifically it isn't actually wet. So it's a bit of a conversation stopper. But anyway, during the transaction of payment and waiting for my change, and I'm looking down towards the produce I purchased, I got this feeling that somebody was staring at me. So when you've got the third eye open, you don't need to raise your head to find out who's looking at you. You can use your third eye. Apparently, in prehistoric times, human beings actually had a third eye in the back of their head, and this is, of course, to keep an eye out for Tyrannosaurus Rex and stuff like that, you know. But so anyway, I was aware of this person staring at me. So as I picked up to continue the conversation about getting my change, I glanced over and I was spot on. It was one of these kind of thriller type looks, like a movie thriller, that's what I'm saying. And he was staring fucking quite intently, actually. And he couldn't see me looking back at him. That was the most amazing thing. He couldn't see me looking at him while he was staring at me. He seemed to be in a bit of a daze. But his stare was quite intense. He had a little fucking one of those lazy bastard beards. You know, those beards that you have where you don't really look after yourself much, and you just fucking let your facial hair grow all over the fucking place. Well, that kind of character. And so anyway, I proceeded to leave the store, and as I entered my vehicle, I noticed him coming straight for his car. Interestingly, I mean, I went to evening classes. It must have been more than 40 years ago now. It was about 38 years ago. Evening classes in counter surveillance, and it was a 12-week course. So it was actually pretty good. So I've kind of utilised some of my skills from this today. So as I got into the vehicle, I realised he had then taken out his phone. So something of urgency meant that from the moment that guy had come from the store, he was in dire need of making contact with someone. And I just thought to myself, I wonder if it's fucking, he's recognised me or something, or maybe he's just about to contact someone because of he's looked at me. You know, that sort of weird kind of fucking scenario, because it was pissing the rain, and he stood outside his car and to make this, to bring up this number or whatever he's doing. So anyway, I just kind of kidding around. I was fucking about with my internal fucking parts of the vehicle, adjusting lights and that. He was driving a fucking 4 black, I don't think they were wheel trims, I think they were without wheel trims, to be honest, but if they were wheel trims, they were jet black. Anyway, he fucking went into the vehicle, and you could see my headlights were on, and he must have thought, I don't know why he's not moving. But I already worked that out, so I was kidding on, I was adjusting the radio set, but also fucking looking at him. And so eventually he took off, and anyway, I got the part. Well, I like to take a quick snapshot of people's last 3 letters of their registration number for future use. You never know when that comes in handy. So that was that was my fucking day at B&M. Sorry about my throat. As I say, it's not sore. It's just it's sugar coated with wine gum. Anyway, busy this morning. When I pulled out, I don't know if you saw that video about me with the thermal heating stuff. Well, I pulled out that Vax machine, and I thought to myself, you know, this Vax machine is a washer plus a dryer. So it's a washer plus a vacuum. I thought it's a fucking clumsy kind of thing. So what I decided to do was make my own miniature vacuum cleaner just for quick jobs around the house, like maybe vacuuming that sofa. Where the leather buttons are, there's dust tends to gather inside there. So what I did was I got a shoe. Can you see this shoe? Wait me a minute. The shoe's an old shoe, but it's got holes in the soles, okay? And what I've decided to do this morning, well, I'll just get this sorted. You can look at the fire for a moment while I work out what I'm trying to do here, because it's a bit tricky. Here, I'll put it down there for a moment. Okay, so it's pretty. Okay. It's not a prototype. This is a completed job. It fits in. That's what I was doing this, and I've used some batteries. And what I'm going to do is show you what I mean. The light's terrible. I was going to call it a shoe cleaner, but it doesn't actually clean shoes. Excuse me a second. The battery fell out. Right, this battery sorted. I think if maybe put it here, you might see it a bit better. So. So what happens here is the hole in the shoe sucks up all the dust, and obviously once the shoe gets filled with dust particles, then you just take it to the appropriate bin and then dump it. But so I thought that was quite good. What I also thought it was going to be useful for is not so much a hairdryer, but you know, if you've got things like if you've got lice or something like that, or maybe you've been resting in long grass with your partner on a nice summer's evening, and you've ended up with ticks in your hair. I thought that'd be an idea to get the ticks out. You could have got lice from your partner. That's a possibility as well. So you know, rather than just zoom that shoe across the top of your skull, and that will remove the lice. And so I think I've been busy with my inventions this winter, and I've got a few done. And I'm not sure about the battery. I might have to do something, because it's quite a clumsy battery, and it does tend to slip out. I might have to do some extra work. But as I say, it's not a prototype. That's the finished job. So if you've got a shoe, and did I mention it is a motor from an old hairdryer? And so if you've got an old hairdryer that doesn't do, maybe you've lost. Say you bought your husband a hairdryer for his Christmas, but he'd gone bald in the couple of years after, and he doesn't need it anymore. Then you could maybe use that, just take the engine out of the hairdryer and rebuild it into some plastic component. I used a, what do you call it? It's an old milk carton from, I had it in the shed, and I had painted it black. I can't remember what I was doing with that. There was some purpose for it, but anyway, that's it. That's it all there, and I stuck on a bit of tape there, and then the battery at the back. As I said, I'll screw the exterior to keep that in position, and that's it. That's my shoe cleaner, which is really sucks up dust and also removes lice and ticks from your hair.